All right, so I think we're ready.
Ready to go?
We're ready.
All right, well, welcome to Personality Selling. Let me make sure this is working. A little bit about me. My name is Mike Farrell, for those of you who don't know me. I've been in the mortgage business since 2001, and prior to that, I was a stockbroker in Manhattan out of college. So I kind of cut my teeth on, someone gave me a phone book and told me to cold call about as many people as I could a day. I sat literally like a table like this with 4 or 5 phones with 5 or 6 guys and 1 lady, and we were literally just cold call people at home saying, would you like to buy stock, would you like to buy stock, would you like to buy stock? Are you working with more than 50,000 or more in the marketplace, whatever. Trying to get someone on there, and while I was passing my exams and so forth so I could do that, it was a very humbling experience. I loved it. It was very fast paced, and the nice part about it is that you don't get that fear of the no after a certain amount of time because you just expect it. And sometimes when you expect no, you end up getting a lot more yeses. So that's what I did, and then I left 9 months prior to September 11th. I worked in the World Trade Center every day. Chased a girl down here, drank the water, 3 kids in 5 years, and that's what happens down here. And here we are. So I've been in the mortgage business. I was with Bank of America and Countrywide. Countrywide was bought by Bank of America, and now I'm with First Home Mortgage, which is a 25-year-old mortgage company, direct lender based out of Baltimore. And myself and my partner, a guy named Gary Anthony, who was at SunTrust, he and I took our teams from the big bank world and kind of brought this name to Northern Virginia. We have 94 employees in Northern Virginia, 16 loan officers. We do about $1 billion in loans. My office is right here in Leesburg in the Wegmans Plaza. All of our processing, underwriting, and closing is right in-house. It reports directly to us, so it's very easy for us to make decisions. But enough about the mortgage business. This is a class that was taught to me probably 10 to 12 years ago. It was built for loan officers, really. Someone taught it to me. You guys may have taken things like Myers-Briggs or DISC tests and things like this. This is completely different. Some of the things you'll find are similar, but someone said you should teach this for real estate agents. It would be really great for them because, I don't know if you guys know this, but I do a lot of CE teaching, and there's not one sales and marketing class that is eligible for CE in all of the deep water stuff. So I tried to get this passed for CE, and they were like, yeah, this doesn't fit any of our models. So we don't get any credit for it, but I think you'll learn a lot, which is good. So some of the goals here are we're going to identify each client, realtor partner, coworker's personality type, and our own. And the goal is to adopt a sales style, management style to close the most sales personally and bring out the best in our employees. How are you? Go ahead. No problem. We just started. And then the final one is to retain more clients and team members. Okay? So I start with something funny that I think you guys will get a kick out of. If you've seen the movie Tommy Boy, we'll start with this.
I'm sorry, so sorry.
Richard, do I have a mark on my face? It really hurts.
Nope, nothing. I thought I hit you on the shoulder.
My shoulder doesn't hurt very much, but my face does. Right here. Not here or here so much. Right here.
Nope. Ship shape. Waitress, could I get that shrimp cocktail I saw in the glass case?
Yep. And you, what can I get? Jesus, what happened to your face?
I knew it. See, Richard. I'll have chicken wings.
Kitchen's closed until dinner. Just got cold stuff and desserts.
Boys, some chicken wings have really hit the spot. You sure it's closed?
Let me check. Yep, it's closed.
Okay. I'll just have a sugar packet or 2. Hey, what's your name?
Helen.
That's nice. You look like a Helen. Helen, we're both in sales. Let me tell you why I suck as a salesman. Let's say I go into some guy's office. Let's say he's even remotely interested in buying something. Well, then I get up like second. I'm like JoJo, the Indian circus boy with a pretty new pet. The pet is my possible sale. Oh, my pretty little pet. I love you. So I stroke it and pet it and massage it. I love it. I love my little naughty pet. You're naughty. And then I take my naughty pet and I go. Oh! forge ahead, Helen. Am I right?
God, you're sick. Tell you what, I'll go turn the fryers back on and throw some wings in for you.
Hey, thanks, Helen. Tell me likey. Tell me what wingy.
Did that board of the head knock something loose?
What are you talking about?
That 180 you just pulled at the waitress. Why can't you sell like that?
I was just having fun. If we didn't get the wings, so what? We still got that meat lover's pizza in the trunk.
Hey, you got the wings because you were relaxed. So you had confidence. And that's what it takes to sell. Confidence. Your dad had that. Why are you guys such a deep turd these things?
My dad was smart. I'm not.
Very true. But there's two types of smarts. Book smarts, which waved bye-bye to you long ago, and there's street smart, the ability to read people. And you know how to do that, just like your dad. He was the best at knowing what people wanted to hear and what people needed to hear. That's what selling is all about. In a way, these people are buying you, not just brake pads.
Hey, everybody. It's Tony Robbins. Maybe you're right, Richard.
I think I am. Holy Lord, look at this guy. Caught him right after Thanksgiving feast.
Oh, nice, Richard.
I need a pooper scoop.
Anyone ever see that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple times.
Yeah, just a few, right? So, that was meant to be funny, right? But there are some cool takeaways that I got just out of that one little clip. And one of them is, there's two types of smarts that you guys are going to come across. Just like there's real estate agents that are very, very book-oriented, they read a lot, they know the guidelines, they know the rules, they know the laws, right? And then you have your street smarts people who, they have a great ability to read people. He also had one quote in there, he knew what people wanted to hear and what people needed to hear. A lot of things that we're going to talk about in this class are going to relate to that. And then the final thing is, you guys know this, they're buying you, right? They don't buy anything else, they're buying you first before you guys put your sign in your yard or walk around and show them some property. Okay, so, it's a zoo out there. Managers and team leaders, the reason why we call it the zoo, because by the end of this class, we're all going to be labeled an animal. Okay? And everyone is what they are. There's no right or wrong answer. You are what you are. You can't change it. And in our business, in the loan business in particular, a lot of people were promoted to manager roles, team leader roles by one thing, their ability to close business. Right? So that doesn't mean they're great managers. Okay? We have a lot of people in our business that are not great managers, but we're great salespeople. Two very, very different things. So this will also help people like George, who runs a team, and you guys have teams and maybe assistants or things like that. That you got to be able to understand what best resonates with the people on your team and convert to what's best for them. Okay. Real estate agents, many sell the way they're most comfortable being sold to, and the results are missed opportunities. Certainly, I am easier to buy something from somebody who's most like me. Right? Because I relate to them immediately. It takes 2 seconds. Okay? But people on the opposite side of the spectrum, that's a tough one for me. Okay? And why it's a zoo, like I said, we have many different animals. Okay? And you cannot treat everybody the same to get a desired result, and this is true for everybody in your life, your spouse, your significant other, your kids. I cannot talk to all 3 of my kids the exact same way to get the same result. It's impossible. One is going to be like, oh, whatever, and one of them is just not going to do it unless he gets something for it. And the other, and my daughter, if I say it in a certain way, she'll be like, "Why are you yelling?" You know. So I have to speak very differently to all 3 of them to get the result that I want. Okay. And the greatest sign of respect that you can is to interact with your clients, referral partners, team members that best resonates with them. Okay. So the themes for today: if you sell the way you always like to be sold, you could be losing 50 to 75% of your sales. If you market the way you like to be marketed to, you could be losing 50 to 75% of your sales. And you've probably heard this quote before: if I always do what I've always done, I'll always get what I've always gotten. Okay? So hopefully you guys may have some aha moments today where you go, you know, oh my gosh, no wonder why they didn't pick me to be their listing agent, or why I didn't get that transaction with them. Right? So, because there may be something missing, and normally it's not about the numbers. Okay? It's about something that didn't connect on a personal level. So the final theme is, it depends, it depends, it depends. Okay? It depends on personality type, and that's what we're going to focus on today. People always ask me in my business, you know, what would you say to this client? You know, I have a client who's shopping 5 different lenders for interest rates right now. What would you say? And I said, well, I don't know. I don't know anything about them. Tell me about what you know. And normally what I find out at that point is they really don't know the client. Okay? It's just completely transactional, and it's just about the numbers. Okay? If you call me and say, hey, what's your interest rate? And I'm like, oh, 4%. And then you go to somebody else and what's your interest rate? Oh, then it's just for you. It's just all about rate. I gotta take that away from the conversation and focus on you. Well, what really are you looking for? Is it really just the lowest interest rate? Because I can show you how to get that. Because they start at 1%, they go on from there. Which one do you want to pay for? Right? They don't really understand that because we're all taught the same thing in my business. Get the lowest rate, get the lowest fees. Right? Find a real estate agent who's going to give some of their commission back. That's easy to do. Right? Bring an agent to a builder because they'll give you half their commission. Right? All those rumors and things like that you hear, and it's just devalued at that point. So there's something missing. A lot of it's education, but most of it is built on the personal part of the relationship at the beginning. Okay? So I always say, like, what's your favorite kind of advertisement? Some real estate agents, does anyone do print advertising in any of the local, do you do stuff like that? There's postcards that go out. Anyone do those kind of things in the neighborhood? I get them all the time in my neighborhood, right? Some of them I look at, I'm like, oh my God, this is too much information on here. I can't just throw it out. I can't read it. I don't have the time, right? Or it's just not something that just resonates with me. Some of them are like, oh, 3 bullet points, 3 sales, 3 pictures, boom, I love that. That was easy for me to read, understand, and so forth. So if you are marketing the exact same way every single time, and if you are one of the people that market with a lot of detailed information, I'm probably not going to be picking you as a real estate agent. So you got to change it up. Okay? So some of the things that we'll talk about in here. So the 4 types of personalities, we call it the BOLT system, which is B-O-L-T. Bulls, owls, lambs, and tigers. Okay? And 25% of people are each. Okay? You are what you are, like I said. You will have a predominantly high number in one of those categories, and then you will be a blend of other people as well in there, but you are what you are. Okay? This is going to help you determine in yourself and in other 2 things. How assertive a person is and how much emotion they display, except for anger. Okay? So that's what we're going to focus on here. How assertive your clients are, or your team members, or whatever, and how much emotion they display, because that's going to be a huge factor in all of this. It also is going to be a huge factor in yourself, how assertive you are as a person, and how emotional are you. Okay? So, this chart, this was given to me a long time ago, so there's some writing on it. So, this chart right here explains a little bit about it. Okay? Your emotions are going to be on the side here, on the left side. Okay? Your lowest emotion people are going to be up in this quadrant. Your highest emotion people down here. Shows a very high emotion, very social. Okay? The people up in this quadrant do not show a lot of emotion. They're not very social. Poker face, stonewall, right? Things like that. And then you're going to have your ask-oriented, non-bossy people in these quadrants, all the way to your tell-oriented people, your bossier people, most assertive people in this. Okay? So if you fall in these categories, your toughest sale is on this side. Okay? And vice versa. Same thing with diagonals. Okay? So we're going to come back to this, but this is what I want you to look at first. Any questions on that? Okay, there's a copy of this in your folders as well. Now, we'll start with the owl. Okay? That's the first quadrant we're going to talk about. So the owl, the driving forces of an owl are perfection. Okay? For these individuals, it's got to be perfect for them to buy. Okay? It's got to be the perfect house. You got to be the perfect realtor. They are your lowest risk takers, your slowest decision makers. They say less words per minute than any other type of personality. Their tone quality tends to be lower. These are people you call up and go, guess what? You got the house. And they're like, thank you. That's great. And you're trying to get them all fired up if you're on the other side of the spectrum. Okay? They have a system for everything. These are people that will come in with their own notebook and their own statistics without your information. They're going to do their own research. And they write in paragraphs. Okay? So you've gotten the emails from clients and they write like a book for you and you're like, oh my gosh, if you're on the other side of the spectrum, you're looking at this going, oh my gosh, I can't read all this. This is killing me. Right? But this is how they work. Again, this is 25% of your clientele. If this is really tough for you to look at, and some of you are kind of laughing at it, right? This is a tough sell. This is one of my tougher sells. Your lambs, their driving force is pleasing others. Okay? Pleasing people. First and foremost, you have to be their friend. Okay? They are your slower decision makers. They have the highest cancellation rate of any one of your clients. You will resell the same house to them under contract numerous times. God forbid anything goes wrong, right? The cracked window, they're like, oh my God, we can't buy the house, cracked window. You know, you're like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be a lot of reassurance with this group. They will prey on it, right? These people that are like, oh, please, I hope we get the house, I hope we get the house. Okay? But remember, pleasing others is their driving force. Okay? And that includes with you. They will be that way with you as well. Your bulls. The driving force of a bull is control. Okay? These are your fastest decision makers, your highest risk takers. Bottom line, these are no-nonsense people. Just get to the point. Okay? Business first and foremost with this group of individuals, and write in bullet points, no paragraphs. So if you're on the other side of the spectrum, if you are an owl in this room, and you like to write a lot of detail, the chance of you getting a bull to do a transaction with you or use you as an agent is going to be slim. This is not the way they fly. Okay? These are the people, business first and foremost. This is not the client you call up on a Monday and you go, how was your weekend? Tell me all about it. They're going to be like, what? What are you talking about? This is a business transaction to these individuals. Just get straight to business. Eventually you can be friends with them at some point, and you will talk to them at some point on a social basis, but not in the beginning when you're trying to attract business. Your tigers, their driving force, if you guessed it, is fun and excitement. Okay? These are your fastest of the decision makers. These are your highest risk takers. Very impulsive. They go through money quickly. These would be what we call our drama queens and kings of the world, right? Right? These are the people that always say, I hate, anyone who says I hate drama loves drama, right? You know, you've heard that before, right? So these are the people that you'll see on Facebook, and they'll friend you the second you meet them on Facebook. That you'll have a major insight to their entire life because they put everything out there. They're very, very social, very impulsive. Okay, these are the people that buy the $1 million houses with the least amount of money down because they're doing all these other things, traveling, buying things, fancy cars, big screen TVs everywhere, all those kind of things. Okay, so now products have a personality too. What does each animal want in their new home, or their new home to be like? The bulls like things that are striking and impressive. If you know you have a bull on your hands, right away, eliminate the properties that you know that personality type will not like. So why would you show them property? Why would you waste your time, your gas money, and your energy showing properties that you know they probably won't even like anyway, just because it's in their price range? Okay?
Spouse.
Or their spouse. Your owls like practical, efficient, functional. Okay? Owls are your data people. They like data, they like efficiency. Good. Your lambs, they like a warm, remember, these are your pleasing other people. A warm, feels nice house. Your tigers, there's your fun and excitement and different. They're okay with the crazy things that are in the house. They're okay with they want the big finished basement with the bar down there and things like that because they're entertaining, fun, social people. Okay? They're going to walk through the house and they're going to see TVs on the wall like this and they're going to say, does this come with us? Can we keep this and stay with us? Right? That's what they're looking at. They're not looking at like the bones. They're not looking at HVAC. They're not looking at all that kind of stuff. They're looking at their entertaining space. Okay? They also have a favorite room in the house. Your bulls, what would you guess? You know what a bull is already now. What would you guess their favorite room in the house is?
Curb appeal.
Curb appeal, a room inside. But you're right.
Kitchen.
No. A bull is more like a me room, a study room. You ever go in there and you're like, you see like the office set up, with the doors closed, their own TV in there. That's the computer. The kids aren't allowed to touch that computer. That's my room kind of thing. That's a bull, hands down. Okay? You also have your owls. You guys just said it. What do you think an owl? Remember, practical, efficient, functional. Kitchen, right? A kitchen. You ever go into a house or an open house, or did you guys ever host one maybe where you open up drawers and pantries and they are like perfectly set up, and you're going, oh my gosh, this is every shirt or everything is hung perfectly in that closet, right?
Bi-colored.
Right, bi-colored, things like that. Right, every hanger is exactly the same. It's like what? Do they ever use a dry cleaning hanger? Right, every hanger is like perfect. Right, so that's a complete owl on your hands. Those are people that you better make sure you take pictures before an open house, so you can put everything back the way it was unless anything was moved. Right? How about your lambs? What would their favorite room in the house be? Remember, pleasing others, warm, feels nice. Family room, right? Family room with a fireplace for everyone to gather around. Okay? And how about your tigers? What would you think your fun and excitement tigers would want? What's their favorite room in the house? What's that?
Wet bar?
Wet bar? What about basement? Pool? Bedroom? Right? Rec room? We can call it whatever you want. But so they're, those are like the fun and exciting things. Remember, it's always like that with them. Now, what colors do they wear? Okay? You're going to meet people at open houses. You're going to meet people for the first time without having correspondence with them probably in writing. Right? You guys meet people all the time. And you can identify a lot of people by just the colors that they wear. Bulls will normally show up in black, dark brown, dark green, dark blue. Okay? Your owls, mostly in neutral colors. This isn't like a complete fail-safe. This is things that you should be thinking right when you're meeting somebody for the first time and how to convert them into a client. Right? It's not perfect all the time, but these are good identifiers. Your lambs, pastels, like primary colors, jewel tones. Okay? So you see somebody for the first time. What I'm doing when I meet a client for the first time, or I meet an agent or somebody like that, a potential person that I'm going to have to sell, trying to get them to use me, first thing I'm doing is thinking, all right, what are they wearing? What are they looking at? How are they speaking to me? Things like that. So I can try to emulate or get into that mindset and change the way I speak to make them feel most comfortable. Remember, the goal is to change the way you communicate to make what best resonates with them. Because it's not about you. Right? Advertising to them. When you're advertising to a bull, they want it price and simple. That's it. Okay? There's nothing more you need to do. Because bulls, remember, their driving force is control. Okay? These are the people that you say, well, you should list your house for $500,000 or $510,000 and let them make the choice, because you're giving them the choice to make that decision. You're not telling them you should list your house for $499. They're going to be like, well, I'll decide what I'm listing my house for, right? So if you're more on have a bull tendency as an agent and you have a bull client, there's a little clashing sometimes because you both want control, right? But at the end of the day, you have to relinquish the control to get the client to use you, right? Your owls, you have to advertise with full details and paragraphs. Remember, these are your data people. They're slow to purchase anything. You will spend more time with an owl before you get them to write a contract. Because they're going to be the ones that you're going to look at 4 or 5 houses, and you're going to go, well, there's 3 offers on this one. Well, they do not have an emotional attachment to that house. So even though you're trying to say, we're going to miss out if you don't make the offer, they're going to go, well, it's fine, there'll be another one. And you're like, oh my God. Your lambs advertise with a family picture. Right? That's the most important thing to them is their family, their friends, those kind of things that are going there. Highly emotional, low assertiveness. Don't forget that. And your tigers, use something that they would be doing. You are going to have an open book into a tiger client. They're going to tell you everything about their life. You will see every picture about them everywhere. They will show you things. This is where I've been. This is where their house will have lots of pictures, lots of things that they've done, a lot of friends and so forth. You'll know their favorite sport teams, things like that. Identify those things immediately, put them in your notebook, and start having communication about those kind of things. Did you see the game last night? Wasn't that amazing? Right? Hit those things first, and they're going, oh my God, you're paying attention to the things they like, and they like that. The handshake. Okay? Can I use you for a second? Mm-hmm. All right. So you guys meet people for the first time, and you might say, hi, my name is Mike Farrell, and what do? You shake hands. Right? So everybody shakes their hands differently. Right? Everybody is different. And sometimes just by handshake, you can tell what type of personality you're dealing with. So your bulls, boom. One up and down, one down. That's it.
I was going to say, my hands are warm.
Yeah.
They're cold.
Right? So the bulls are just like that, and then they're done. Right? Because remember, it's the control thing and so forth. Right? Your owls are like this. They never come in all the way sometimes. Like, they don't know that they trust you yet. Right? Because they're trying to kind of figure out, before they buy from you, it's going to take a long time before they select you as an agent. So they're not really in yet.
Unless they're worried about your hygiene.
Maybe your hygiene, right? They are very clean people. And then your lambs shake hands like this a lot of times. They'll have their hand under yours. Pleasing people, they let you take control a little bit, right? So they kind of shake underneath. And then your tigers are like this. How are you? They're hugging you, shaking your arm off, they're just they'll be hugging you by the end of the meeting and so forth, because that's just the way they are. They're just very, very social, highly emotional people. Okay? Questions on that? Good tips?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, emails and letters. You cannot correspond to every single one of these things the same way. In our business, it's very, very transactional and very kind of structured, right? So when I disclose a loan, we disclose a loan, we have to get it back within 3 days. We order the appraisal, we wait for the appraisal, we order the title, we wait for the title work, right? We have to send it to underwriting, then we have to get clear conditions, we have to send commitment letters out, right? Then we have to go to closing, then we have to get the CD. It's the same thing every single time, right? So it's very easy for us to communicate the same exact way all the time, right? You guys are doing the exact same thing on your end. You're getting your home inspection done first, you're getting your HOA document, you're clearing conditions, contingencies, things like that. Right? You're doing well in septic. You're kind of like you can do that in your sleep. But to them it's different. So how you communicate what those things are and how you're doing those things has to change. Okay? So you cannot write the same way nor speak the same way to each type of client. And here's a good example of this is in a letter form, but even in an email. If you're writing an email or a follow-up letter to an owl, this is what it would look like. So to you tigers in the room or bulls in the room, you're looking at this right away going, oh my God, I want to read all this. Right? So, but you can see in here, please find additional detailed information enclosed. You will do more work with these owls. Okay? This is 25% of your clients. If you want to close 100% of them, you cannot leave these people out. Okay? So this is more of a lender thing, but it talks about what a rate lock is. Please find 7 additional pages of all possible changes and additions. Right? Your owls are data. You've got to give them a ton of information. You will not over-inform an owl. The more information, the better. So take your time. Give them more things. Give them tons of comps to look at because they want to do their own research on those kind of things. Just give them the research and let them go. Okay? Your lambs, hope all is well with you and your family. You always address lambs socially and personally first. Never go straight business. If you're a bull or an owl in this room and you roll right in and go, all right, here's what we have to do to go ahead and make this offer. Without asking, they're going to go, well, hi, how are you? How are you? Like that's how they talk because they want to know, they want to have a personal relationship first. And it's social. Thank you for stopping by. You and your family would be right at home here. I really enjoyed meeting your children. Again, we're not even talking about the transaction here. We're just addressing things that are important to them, which is their family, right? What's warm, who feels nice, things like that. Again, really enjoyed meeting your family. We started with their family, started with their personally with them, ended personally with them. All this minor stuff in here is about the transaction. Your tigers, it was great meeting you. What a fun time we had. These are people you're going to put a lot of caps and a lot of exclamation points. Okay? Get them excited. They will buy right away from you if they're excited. In minutes. They will not look at 10 other houses if you can show them the perfect one. Okay? Can you just imagine entertaining in that dramatic living room? Here's a copy of the calendar for the shopping mall. Can you believe the game on television last night? What a game. I look forward to seeing you and also look forward to that tennis game. Right? You will schedule social things with a tiger client very quickly. They tend to be friends with everybody. So you'll be invited to a happy hour or a golf game or something that goes on with them personally. Right away. Okay? Because they consider you a friend now. If you're their realtor, you are now their friend. This is an example to a bull. Find the enclosed information you requested. Remember, give them the information, let them make decisions. They will make a decision. They will make a decision quickly. They're not going to analyze anything. If it works for them, they will buy it. You just got to give them the information and sit back and let go. Okay? Questions on that? Now, I know it's hard marketing-wise, right? I mean, I do blast emails to my database all the time, but I change it constantly because I want to hit things at the right time, right? I want to hit every single personality type every single month. I just change it around. Sometimes it's really simple and easy, and it's funny because I have a database of 7,000 past clients. It's amazing who calls me after each one of those things, right? And then you have the husbands and the wives, and the spouse or the significant others, right? You have to identify who the decision maker is. You guys ever have the client where you talk to one, and then they give the information to the other person, and then it goes back, and you're playing this telephone thing when all you need to do is get to that other person and cut out the middleman, right? That's hard, but you have to identify because one likes to be talked to this way. I'm more on the bull-tiger side of things. My wife is more owl-lamb. Right? Opposites attract, I guess. I don't know. You know, I'm the one that's like, what do you mean? He said he handed in his homework, so we should just call the teacher. And she's like, let me just process what you just said. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing right now? I just want to take care of it in 2 seconds, you know? She just wants to process it, understand what just happened, and then she'll make a decision. She never puts her foot in her mouth, ever. She always thinks before she speaks. Not like me. So, now, who are you? In your folders, you have a chart with yellow highlights on it, okay? You're going to put a number, 1 through 4, next to each one of those line items, okay? So right in here, just put the number in each one of these things all the way through. It's going to take about 10 minutes. And then you're going to add up the numbers on each one, okay? And for those of you who want a calculator, I have calculators. You have to answer every single one of them, by the way. Don't just do the ones that pertain to you. So if it's not you, put a 1. If it's definitely you, put a 4. done? In there? Hard part's the math. Good. All right, ready? Okay. So who had their top number in the top right? Their highest number. 1, 2. So you guys, so right on the top right hand corner, bowl. Those are our bowls, our resident bowls. Who had their highest number in the top left? You did? That's our one owl in the room. So you must be an attention to detail person. Bottom left? Bottom left? Anybody else? You?
Well, I have both.
Close.
That's what I have with both bottoms.
So you're a lamb. The lambs always raise their hand like this, by the way.
Because we're not sure if something is wrong or not.
Right. And then in the bottom right, those are the tigers. Right?
Between bull and tiger.
Now, yeah. So now your highest number is really kind of predominantly what you are. Your next number is like your blend. So if you're like a lamb tiger, is that what you are? Lamb tiger, right? So you're more on the emotional assertive side. You're like in the assertiveness is there, but high emotion, high social, right? So that's what those people are. I mean, your bulls and your owls. Remember, your bulls are your most assertive people, but they're least social when it comes to these types of transactions. They don't really get to the social piece of it. It's a business deal for them. And then your owls, which we talked about, more attention to detail, not really assertive, and very low on the emotion side of it. So they're not going to get too emotionally.
Unless they're backed by a tiger.
Unless they're backed by a tiger.
Yeah, because they're like right in there.
Right. Does anyone have a diagonal number? You're owl tiger.
I am owl tiger.
Yeah, that's very rare. You too? So that's kind of rare because that's normally. So if you're an owl tiger, your lamb bulls are your tough cells. So remember, opposite of what you are is your toughest cell, right? So, which you can probably relate to, right? I mean, if you're a lamb tiger, like Susan, you're a lamb tiger, your toughest cells are bulls and owls all day long, right?
That's my husband.
Yeah. People always ask, I'll email you this if you guys want it, because people like to take it home and give it to their family and stuff. So, but yeah. So now that you know, so everyone knows what they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Questions on that? Okay. Surprised? What were you?
I'm a tiger bull.
Tiger bull. Okay. Yeah. So you're on the right side. All right. Not the right side. Not being
Right.
Go wrong. All right. So now that we know what we are, okay.
What are some numbers to be concerned about? Like if you're like super high.
Super high. That's like I mean, what high? Like over 65?
Narcissism?
Are you over 65 in any of them?
2 of them.
Really? Which ones?
Bull tiger.
Full tiger. Yeah. So that's really high. 65 or over is really high. So if you have really low numbers, that's really tough sell for you on one side. So does anyone have 3 or 4 very close? You do? Yeah, so we have it's like a chameleon kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you can, I'm more of the bull, tiger, lamb side. Owl's my lowest. But if you have 3 or 4 very close, similar within like 5 points of each other, you're like a chameleon, which means it's really easy for you to communicate with all different types.
Yeah, it's hard. Like some of it's also situational. Like I know for like my own personal decisions, I'm more bull, tiger, lamb. But then for like work decisions for clients, I'm more analytical.
Okay.
But like if I'm buying a house for myself, it's completely emotional.
Right.
It's nothing to do with the numbers.
Right.
So it was kind of hard to go back and forth through some of those.
Right. So you just said buying a house for yourself is completely unemotional for you. You just want to go through the numbers, right?
No, completely emotional.
Completely.
Yeah.
But when you're the agent,
right,
it's about the numbers.
right.
So you got to get out of that box when you're dealing with people who it's
Right.
not. It is more emotional.
Well, that's probably normal for all of us anyway.
Totally.
So,
Yeah. The whole point is to get out of the full lamb
Right.
tiger, full tiger, right, and get to the other side of it. so you don't lose those clients, because those are the ones that you're going to scratch your head and go, oh my God, no wonder why I didn't get them. Because I was being myself. Right? Not that you can't be yourself, but you can be, you got to try to just get out of the box a little bit and get them feeling very comfortable with how to communicate. Okay? So, we're going to talk about now the listing appointment, the buyer appointment, contract writing, and a home inspection. Okay? When it comes to the listing appointment, when you walk into a house, you're for the first time, right? You got to put your mindset on and go, what type of individual and family or house am I dealing with here? Because you can identify by walking into a listing appointment for the first time. You may not get a lot of information, say, hey, I would like you to come in and look at my house and potentially be my agent to list it. If I just say that to you, you didn't really learn anything about me in that conversation, right? Sometimes you get appointments without having a lot of personal conversation and learning about the client. Sometimes the first meeting is at the house, right? So if you walk in and you see this, what type of person do you have?
Cowl.
Or study, me room, office. It's a bowl, right? Dark lines, clean woods, things like that, right? This is their room, okay? Hey, we should meet in here to talk about this. Get away from everybody else in the family. You got a bull on your hands down right there, okay? How about this room? Whose house is this? Tiger. Got the pool table, the bar, video games, the whole thing, right? Some of you guys are like, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
How about here?
Lamb.
It's your lamb, right? Now, if you're a bull owl, right? A bull owl agent, and you walk into a lamb's house, and you see this, and you go, yeah, this all has to go. Take it down and repaint that. That lamb is going to go, oh my God, this is like my whole, I painted this myself. This is my daughter. You know, you have to walk in, if you're a bull owl on the opposite side of the spectrum, and you got to go in and you got to go, tell me about this, I love it. And you have to sit there and you have to just suck up 20 minutes of this entire thing here and how long it took and why they did it and so forth, right? You never want to tell somebody on a lamb on the first appointment that this has to go down anyway, right? You do that after they hire you and say, all right, now let's talk about other things, right? But if you have a lamb for the first time you're walking in, you got to hit this hard. Remember, social, emotional people. You've got to go after this. This is a home run if you're an agent walking in. If you stop and address this thing and let that person tell this whole story about this, even though you're like whatever, if you're that type of person, then you have a very high likelihood of them loving you and you're going to be their agent. Okay? So stop and address things like this with lambs. It's always social, always emotional for them. Okay? This is going to be tough for them to paint over, to move out, right? So you got to just make sure you take a lot of time with stuff like this. Okay. What do we got here? Owl. Right? Functional, efficient, right? Organized. Does your house look like that? Well, your owl, it does.
Unless my husband's gotten into it.
Okay. Yeah. So that's an owl. How about here? Tiger, right? Entertaining space, things like that. If people are taking the time to make an outdoor entertaining space, you probably have a tiger or a lamb on your hands that are more gathering type areas, right? How about here? Owl, organized. Owl married to a tiger, maybe with the high heels left out, right? So, but that's a perfect example of an owl, right? So if you know you're selling to an owl, or you want to show property that has stuff like this. Don't show property that's a mess. Don't show an owl a property that's full of all the fun stuff in the basement, things like that, because they're least emotional, least assertive people. They don't care about those kind of things. It's not about that to them. They don't really normally, owls are not huge, family gatherers or a lot of friends over. There's not the party house all the time. Okay? You're an owl tiger, though.
Yeah, that's all right. It is like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then cleaning after.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about here?
Lamb.
All day long, right? Again, you're not walking in and going, take this all down. It's got to go, right? You have to go, tell me about that. I want to know all about this horribly drawn picture, right? So, and you have to talk about it. You have to address things like that because it's important to them, which is why it's hanging on the refrigerator. Does anyone have a refrigerator that has all the stuff, the kids' stuff all over it? No? Okay.
Reluctantly.
You do? Reluctantly.
Yeah.
Right, because they're proud of it, right? Yeah. You do it for them. You don't do it for you. I get it. Right. So
I've
that's
given up.
Yeah, I've given up. So yeah, so you have kids that are lambs. So there you go. I like this one. How about here?
Owl.
Bull owl, right?
Yeah.
So definitely like kind of a meat, definitely not a lot of emotion in this, right? So that's what that is right there. All right, what type of buyer am I? So if I say to you, I want every comp in the last year. Owl. Whew, right? If you're a bull tiger, you're dying with that comment, right? I need a safe neighborhood with a fenced-in yard for the dog and a place there for the kids. Lamb, right? Do not show lambs properties that do not have stuff like that, especially if you know they're very family-oriented. Can you send me the community social events calendar? Tiger. I need curb appeal. I want the nicest house on the street. Bull. Striking, impressive is your bulls. Provide me data on local schools and their rankings. Owl. Right? Data. All that. Do your research for them. Or a neighborhood with a pool, social club, golf course, tennis courts, the works. Tiger. Social, right? Fun, exciting. Must have fireplace and a big family room. Family room, fireplace, lamb. Long driveway on my house to sit up high. Bull. Can you send me the commuting times to my job for each of these 11 listings? You guys have clients like that?
Oh, yes.
Right? I mean, you can use, luckily you can use your phone now. You can just pull them up really quickly, but come on, right? Outdoor entertainment space is a must. Guest room for family to visit. Anyone who tells you they're looking for a house and they want an extra room for family, it's hands down a lamb all day long. Okay? Especially if they're moving to an area where they don't have a lot of friends or family yet, so they want those people to come and stay a while. Okay? So hit those things. State-of-the-art technology and a security system. Cool. I love a house with speakers already installed, so we can have music playing everywhere, so we can have a dance party anytime. Tiger. I need incredible closets so everything can stay organized. Rich woods, clean lines, stainless steel, things like that. Getting it?
Yes.
Right? They're giving you everything you need by telling you their wants. You know what you get. Right away, they're telling you all these things. You know what you're dealing with. Okay? I need a home gym and a home office just for me. Me. Anything me? Soft, cozy, warm, filling atmosphere. Lamb. Bright colors would be super fun to have. Exclamation point.
Tiger.
Right? Neutral colors, energy efficient appliances. Owl. Need a neighborhood with sidewalks so we can go on family walks. Finished basement with a media room and hopefully it has a bar down there. Exclamation point. A lot of exclamation points. Alright. So you got it. Yes.
Quick question about that. So, like, what if you have somebody, who wants an entertainment space and, like all of them? What if they just want them all? Like, how do you...
Well, there might be a chameleon, right?
Refer them to somebody else, because you'll never find it.
Refer them to somebody else. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to just go with your gut on what is there. Sometimes you show more houses than others. Like I said, it's not foolproof when it comes to this thing, but it definitely gives you some insight to what's going on in their minds, and it's going to save you time by not wasting your time showing properties or, right, and things like that to a buyer that is just never going to buy something like that. Just because it says it's between $450 and $500 doesn't mean you show every single one of them, right? Try to get in their mindset, and then you can close them quicker that way without wasting a lot of time. And then you're the agent who found the perfect house the first time because you did your homework. All right, contract writing, right? You're going to sit down, you're going to write contracts with all 4 different personality types a lot, okay? Your bulls, when you're sitting down going over your contract, you're just going to briefly highlight the main points. Same thing what I do on the loan side. When they sign 52 pages of loan disclosures, right, after they just signed your 25-page document. So the bulls, I'm briefly highlighting my main points, going through bullet form communication, and we focus on the negotiation of the deal. Okay? So that's really what this is to them. This is a business transaction to them. It's about the numbers. Your owls, you're going to be very specific when you're sitting down and talking about the contract. You're going over what-if scenarios. Okay? Now, we go to the home inspection. Well, what if this happens? Then what? What if the pest inspection comes back? Then what? Right? If you hit those things up front before they ask, they will really, really appreciate it. Because you're taking the time to give them the education they want. Give them time to read everything. This is your conventional financing addendum. This talks about your mortgage. Go ahead and read that and wait. Let them read. These are your readers, right? These are your 2 to 3 hour closings sometimes because they're reading every document before they sign. Look at the lamb. The lamb's like, oh. Right? Opposite side of the spectrum. They will be extremely detailed, and do not be surprised if they correct you. You have my middle initial wrong. Right? They will. You didn't dot the I on there. They are perfectionists. Normally perfectionists when it comes to this. So make sure your contract is perfect. The faxing back and forth thing where they can't read stuff sometimes, never do with an owl. Make it perfect. Make it clean. Your lambs, just direct them. Remember, these are your pleasing people. So just hold their hand through the process. Give them guidance on what to offer. I really think, based on what I've just researched, that you should offer $350,000 for this house. They will listen to you. They want the guidance. Okay? You never say, based on what I know, you should offer $350,000 to a house to a bull. They're not going to. They're going to say, well, we're going to go $349,000. Just because they're the ones making the decision. Okay? Your tigers, this is them. All right, where do I sign? They love the house already. They don't really care about the details. They're just going to go, great, sounds good, hope we get it. They're going to be like cheersing you and happy hour right after they write the contract. Okay? They're going to sign that contract very fast. Initial here, initial here, initial here, initial here, without reading anything. Okay? Questions? Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Your home inspection. The bull cares about a couple of things. Are there any major issues? That's all they care about. And they want the number to fix it. Right? We just talked about yours. Right? So because they're more concerned with the negotiation of the deal. Right? Oh, it's only a $1,500 item. Well, can we get them to pay for it? Let's just get them to pay for it. Right? They're not interested in going back and forth on little types of things. They just want to get it done. The owl, this is your 4-hour home inspection. Complete with estimates, details on cost, exact radon numbers, right? They will review the useful life of their HVAC appliances. They will carry their own notebook when they walk in, right? They're taking their own notes. Add extra time in your contingencies for owls, for everything if you can. If you can do a 7-day home inspection contingency, don't put 5 for an owl. Because they want the extra time. They're going to read that book. They're going to read everything that the home inspector gave them.
Either that or put 5 so they don't have time to do it.
Well, but they're going to know that they have 7 days. How long do I really have? How long do I have to review the home inspection results? They're going to ask those types of questions because they want to review everything. Your lambs, these are the things they're worried about. Is the railing loose for the kids to slip through? Is this going to be a problem? Should I worry? They're going to ask questions like that. Every time the home inspector says something about something wrong with the house, they're going to look at you and go, should I worry about this? And you're going to have to calm them down, give them direction, and just reassurance. Okay? When you schedule a home inspection with your tigers, their first question, do I need to be there for that? You ever have people say that?
Yes.
Right? Will the deal fall through for things like this? Is there anything that's going wrong with the house? If there's something wrong with the house, will the deal fall through? Because they're not focused on that. They're focused on the fact that they love the basement where they can entertain, or this cool little area in the backyard. They're not focused on those types of details. This will be your fastest home inspection ever. They will be updating Facebook with a selfie at their home inspection. They will not have a lot of regard for the results as long as the house isn't falling apart. Okay? Now, your tigers are interesting because they will also call you, because they're highly emotional people, highly social, after they close, if something is wrong. They will be the first to tell you. Because you're your friend. Remember that thing at the home? Did this come up in the home inspection? Because I wasn't really paying attention. Did you know this was going on? So they will ask those types of things. So try to redirect them and get them focused a little bit. Okay? Alright, now, how do we close them? We know what they are, we know what they like, we know their types of personalities, we've identified ourselves. How do we close them? Right? You now have a bull on your hands. How do you close a bull? Especially you lambs and owls in the room, right? Even lambs and tigers sometimes. Closing a bull is difficult. But lambs, in particular, your bull is your toughest sell. So, remember, bottom line, get to the point. Do not be over wordy in your notes and your emails and so forth. Text is great for a bull. They're fast to decide. They need to control the situation. Remember, give them things to decide. Do not tell them things. Because they are tell-oriented people. They will tell you. So, list your house at this or this. Based on what you've just read. What do you think? Give them things to decide. Remember, business first, then social. Always have something for them when you phone or write. These are not the people you call on the phone, right? And I go, hey, George, it's Mike Farrell over at First Home Mortgage. And you go, yeah, what's going on, Mike? And I go, well, hold on a second. Let me get your file, because I didn't know you were going to pick up. And you're all disorganized and whatever. The bulls are going to be like, seriously? I don't have time for this. Right? Make sure you have everything ready. Frequency of your follow-ups should be limited as well as content. Okay? Always state your purpose in your opening remarks. Right? Hey, I'm emailing you because I need this. You don't even need to say, good morning, how was your weekend? You don't need to say anything like that. Just get to the point. This is a business deal. Alright? So you lambs and tigers in the room that are really, really social, you got to get out of that box a little bit and go straight to what, because they will appreciate that brevity. Your lambs, remember, be their friend, give direction, show support. They're slow to decide, high buyer's remorse, very emotional. They avoid conflict. They will avoid conflict. These are my clients who will say, well, my friend had a brother who was a lender in Kansas, and I called him, and I'm so sorry I called him. Like, they're apologizing to me for shopping around for lenders. They'll apologize to you if they talk to another real estate agent, because they feel bad about that. They feel badly about their mistakes, yours and theirs. Like, if you call them and go, oh my gosh, I need to come back because I totally forgot the one addendum you needed to sign. Right? They go, oh, it's okay. You don't have to feel bad about that. They feel bad that you have to now drive back to them to find something to sign. Because they feel bad about it. Right? Try missing an addendum with an owl. Or a bull. They're like, seriously? Get it together. Right? Because you can't make mistakes with those people. Social first, then business. Don't forget. Always social first with the lamb. Talk emotionally about their family and friends. You've learned that today. Frequent follow-up and content. Remember, you will spend more time with them for a sale. Okay? And avoid pressure sales. They're not really good on that piece of it. Okay? If there's going to be another offer tomorrow, you've got to get it in. You've got to get it in. They're like, oh, okay, I don't know. What should I do? Okay? Frequent follow-up. These are the people that you have no... Your past clients, by the way, if you're not contacting your past clients, you need to start, number one. But number two, your lambs and tigers, those people are your highest referral sources of any clientele. They will tell everybody about you, especially the tigers. Okay? Your bulls and your lambs, these are the people that will actually, if you send them a marketing piece a month after closing and then you hit unsubscribe, and you lambs and tigers in the room are going, I can't believe I just was with that guy for 6 months and now he just unsubscribed to my monthly marketing. Right? It's not about that. They don't care about that. This is a deal. They don't have an emotional connection with the transaction, let alone with you guys. So don't be offended when that happens. Right? Because our first instinct, if you're on the more emotional side, is to be like, oh my God, what a jerk. Right? I can't believe you just unsubscribe to my stuff. So, but your main people, your tigers and your lambs, are your number one referral source people. They will tell everybody about you. Your owls, remember, full detail, A to Z. Give them time to decide. They're going to be slower paced. They're very time conscious. They're early for appointments. Right? We always say realtor time is 15 minutes past where you're supposed to be. Right? Do not be late for an appointment with an owl. Okay? That could be a deal breaker. No mistakes, ever. You got to be perfect. So take your time on your contract writing. Take your time during the transaction. Make sure things are running smoothly. They don't like excitement or emotionalism. So you're not going to get them fired up when you get the contract. Guess what? We got a contract. Great.
Good question.
Yeah.
What if they refuse?
Very rare.
I mean, well, okay. I realize it's,
Yeah.
like...
I mean, you definitely don't want to call them out on it. 'Cause
no, but what if they do? Will they ever recognize it? Will they ever
Normally
say... No. Okay.
There's always a reason why that happened. It was never their fault. Yeah.
Okay,
If they give me paid,
that fits. That scenario just fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So if I say, give me all pages of your bank statements, you guys ever have a bank statement or anything like that that has like, this page is left intentionally blank? You ever seen a statement that looks like that?
Yeah.
Right? They don't send that. No. They're like, well, you didn't ask for the blank pages. You said you wanted the information on it. Right? Right? My fault. Got it. I did say all pages. Business first, then social. Dot your I's, cross your T's, and be perfect. That's the main thing for your owls. Now, your tigers, okay? Not detail-oriented. They prefer others to take care of that. These are my clients where I say, hey, you need to give me your bank statements. I got to get your bank statements. They're like, can I just give you my password and sign on to my bank and you print them? And I'm like, no, you can't do that. Right? Because they prefer others to take care of it. They're not focused on those kind of things. Fast to decide, late for appointments. Your typical hot mess, as they say, right? Loves recognition, though. Emotional, likes excitement. A lot of congratulations on things when things go their way. They like a challenge. These are people that are like, oh, well, there's 5 other offers on this house. Like, we can get it. We can still do it. Social first, then business. After your first meeting, like I said before, make notes about favorite teams, activities, vacations they've been on. Refer to recent wins and things like that happen on teams that they like. Address those things and hit them hard. Get them excited and you will close a sale that day. If you show them the perfect house, or if you're the listing agent, if they're excited after they meet you, so you owls and bulls in the room, getting out of your comfort zone a little bit and getting a little bit more peppy and excitable, right? We'll get a tiger to use you. Short attention span. These are like your ADD people, right? You always got to kind of redirect. These are my toughest clients, by the way, guys. Like, trying my business, the amount of documentation that we have to request from people, getting them to, come on, get back over here. I still need your tax returns. Still need this. Still need that, right? Because they're all over the place with stuff. If your email looks too long or details, it will not be read. So you owls in the room that put a lot of detail or a lot of attention to things, or there are times, these are the people, you ever send an email to a client, they call you on the phone right after, they go, I got your email, what were you saying? What was it about? Right? Because they didn't read it, they just want you to just get to the point of what it was, because it was too much for me to read. And in my business, I send a detail, I always email, if I have a tiger, I will email them and say, this is going to be really painful for you, I get it. Ha 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 ha, but I need you to read it. They laugh at it because, remember, I was social first, got them a little excited about it, and then they started reading the details. But you gotta sell it. I need them to read the information because I need them to do certain things so they can get their transaction closed on time. Right? Follow-up needs to be exciting, to the point, visual, social, not much detail, and tailor-made for their lives. Like I said before, I know you can't market to every month to all different types, right? Because it's impossible. But you got to change your marketing each time you do it. Change it up. You never know when you catch an owl or a bull or a lamb or a tiger at the right time. Okay? Don't always be the same with your marketing. I'm not talking about consistency when it comes to branding. Brand yourself. You're supposed to be consistent on that so everyone sees the same thing. But what's inside that is really huge on your ability to capture more clients. And then we talk about your chameleons. One thing I will tell you is this. You have teams? You guys have teams? Anyone use a transaction coordinator? You have title companies, lenders, homeowners insurance. You have your agents sometimes that work with that, home inspectors, right? So don't forget, on every one of my files in my office, it's labeled. Major tiger, lamb, owl, bull. It's labeled. Every file is labeled for my group, okay? And it's because I'm not the only one talking to them, right? Everyone else, your title company is a reflection of you. The lender you refer is a reflection of you. Your home inspector is a reflection of you. You're the one that picked them to go out there with that person, right? Really, really strong to go out and make sure you're explaining to the people who are also going to be interacting with your clients and say, look, here's what we're dealing with here personality-wise. And you've probably done that on a couple of occasions because some people were so off the charts. But really to identify those things that are most important. Right? Hey, by the way, don't budget, don't put 3 home inspections the same day with this client. It's going to take a long time. He's a major owl. Right? Give them a little education of what that is. Educate your Like my assistant is going to talk to my client. My loan processor is. If he was just to go back and just go through his normal routine and didn't pay attention to my notes on what type of person he is, talk to the wife, not the husband. The wife is going to be easier. She's got all the documents, right? Having that conversation is going to be huge for your teams. Okay? Praise room phone?
Yeah.
That's never good. Yeah. He needs praise room that needs comps probably. Well, how'd you price this? So, anyway, questions? You like it?
Yes.
Very good.
Helpful?
Good, yeah, yes.
Good. We're done.
Excellent. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. Very good.
You're welcome. It's better with groups like this. I taught this to 54 agents in Richmond. It took almost 3 hours. 'Cause everyone was, yeah. And the guy with the broker down there wanted, it was in Keller Williams' office, and he wanted to hit it as a wine and beer thing. So it was like,
Everybody was chatty.
oh. It was like, oh, let's have a drink first and loosen everybody up, and and it was like, you couldn't keep control. I'm like, guys.
Are you having another session anytime soon?
Teaching?
Teaching this again? Yeah.
I do it all the time if requested. A lot of times people, I mean, this is kind of funny because I've taught it probably 8 or 9 times now all over the area in Maryland and DC, but it's gotten a little bit big. I teach 5 other CE classes
Okay.
for finding mortgage stuff, things like that, which I always, summer's tough. I probably won't teach again until probably end of August, September,
Okay.
just because it's summer. Yeah, I think it's
No, because I know other agents